All right, the Reds, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. The latest Liverpool news transfer video, bonanza, whatever you want to call it. I really do appreciate all the support on the last video. If you're new around here, want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool related, transfer news, pre-match post shows, hit that subscribe button down below and invite very special guests. Absolutely made up. I've got Ricky from the 1892 Reds podcast with me, and also Connor Niblett from the Cop Council. Thank you very much, lads, for coming on. We'll start with you, Con. It's been literally like a mad 48 hours in relation to Liverpool signing a player, a very experienced Champions League winger who we've very familiar playing him in the group stage, the group of death this year. But just your general thoughts on the supposed transfer, mate, and your thoughts?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. And it's nice. Liverpool signing players in January. It feels weird. It feels like a very late Christmas present. Hello, Tom, as well. But yeah, it's a fantastic transfer. One I think the whole of Europe has looked at and gone, wow. And look, Luis Diaz, one of those ones that you look at and go, was definite a summer signing, but because, thank you Spurs, you going in for it activated Liverpool actually doing stuff in the window. And look, I love the whole, I love the fee, I love the player, the style. It's a winger that just screams Sadio Mane, but is younger. And I love that. It's the fact that, you look at his stats, he scores, I think, what is he? He's on 19 goals in all competitions this season. It's ridiculous. The amount of touches that he has in the box. And that's in a side that, he's playing pretty much as a left mid, not a left winger. Imagine what he can do, with pretty much, how Liverpool play, practically the wingers as the strikers. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. And to be honest with you, I can't wait, because I think he's going to do phenomenal at Liverpool. And hopefully, of course, it isn't a done deal yet. Hopefully that does get done. Of course, there is still time for Kia nightmares.
No, Con. Right, moving on, Ricky. Right, yeah, whatever, Con. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to ban him after what he's just said. But Ricky, your thoughts on the transfers Con said, alluded to. He's a player very similar to Sadio Mane, the way in which he comes off the left-hand flank. A lot of, as I said in my video last night, mate, yesterday, the Jurgen Klopp doesn't sign superstars, he makes them in reality. But are you happy about this transfer? Do you think it'll help improve and bolster Liverpool in terms of our attacking threat going into the end of this season, possibly the years to come?
Yeah, massively. Either one of two, either him or Rafinha, I was hoping that would go in for. And I see, I think 2 days before it come out that we were in for him, that Spurs were looking to wrap a deal up quite quick to please Conte a little bit. And then obviously we've gone in with lowballed Tottenham's offered him less wages, and he's pretty much put Porto in a position where I want to go to Liverpool, that's it. He don't want to go to Tottenham. There was even talk from Romano that Everton were looking at him at one stage as well when it was near enough done. And to absolutely mug off both Spurs and Everton in the same windows is a dream come true, to be fair. There was reports that Tottenham are very unhappy with Liverpool, the way we've come in last minute and stole him, which I find very funny. But yeah, it's a massive signing, and it could be like a Jota, Firmino, Tomiskas, Robbo deal. It will just give Mane that little boost that he needs, that he's got competition, that he's not guaranteed to start every game now. But I've seen a lot of things on social media that saying Mane's done, Mane's going in the summer. Well, Jack Grealish went to Man City. There was no talk about someone leaving. It was all about squad depth. We've signed a player for squad depth. So it's purely that. It's not to replace Mane. It's to give Mane a rest, because I don't think he's had a proper rest for a few years. So it's good, and hopefully there's many more to come.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, mate. Obviously, the Anfield like boom. Just need Bellingham. and he'll be happy. Fingers crossed, mate. I tell you, if we did put it off in the next hour or whatnot, whatever, we've got like 2 more, 20, is it 24 hours? Obviously, the transfer window shuts. I think we'll hopefully get the lads on tomorrow. With them, probably busy with their own shows, but we will have a show tomorrow, so stay tuned. And obviously, in relation to the latest today, in relation to the local journalism, especially in the UK, obviously, given it's being a South American story that it has originated. Oh, wrong button. There we go. In relation to Pippa, Sada, very well respected South American journalist. He done a great piece with James Pearce from The Athletic, and another South American based journalist. So employees are going to head over and check that out. Cracking bit of lovely reads anyway. But his latest one at the minute, he has been the main one that is really everyone's been getting the information off in terms of especially the English and the local press really. He's bullet pointed a couple of points here. In the next few hours, Luis Diaz will do the first part of his medical in Argentina to become a new Liverpool player, and that was in and around a couple of hours ago. Yeah, that was 2 p.m. UK time. And given that time now that has passed, the latest coming out at the minute is that he's successfully passed his medical, and it could be officially, hopefully it gets announced as we are going on live. So if anything breaks, chat, let us all know. But in relation to his medical, all green lights, looking positive as well. And then he goes on to follow in the next bullet points. In the next few hours, Luis Diaz will do, obviously in Argentina. So he did play against Peru last night. Did Peru win? I think they did as well. Against Peru. Yeah, so unlucky. I think everyone turned into a Diaz expert overnight because they watched 90 minutes of him playing. So if you've watched that game, let us know your thoughts on the lads anyway. Big up, guys. John, guys, hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining, mate. The link is in the description, John, or anyone that wants to join, have your say on not just Liverpool transfers, but any transfers that you've seen in and around European football that have really impressed you as well. But yeah, it's Diaz he's the man, the talk of the town, and rightly so. I'll just keep that on there, see if anything. Yep. So this is from Dave O'Cop as well. Luis Diaz is set to undergo a medical, which that was 7 hours ago now. So it's legit looking like all positive news in relation to him successfully becoming a Liverpool player in a couple of hours. Our owners have been asleep all this month, but then it took them to the 27th to KO Spurs out of the race for Diaz. And I can't wait for Diaz. If he hits the ground running, he could do some serious damage. That's from Andrew. Yeah, and Connor alluded to it in the chat as well before. Spurs typical. And I said yesterday on my video yesterday, Conte is not he doesn't suffer fools gladly in reality when he is a manager of a great institution, obviously of Inter Milan and the other great clubs he's been at. If this does carry to continue on in relation to Spurs missing out on transfer targets, I think he'll very much be out the door really in reality. Ricky, what shirt number would you like to see Diaz, I think, pick up? Have you got a preference? Would you like him to see him in number 7 or?
Well, he's rumoured to be taking the number 23, but I would be happy if Milner just hands over that number 7. Milner's going in the summer. We know that he's out of contract. It would have been nice if Milner passed that number 7 over now and just took a squad number the remainder of the season. But I think Diaz will take the number 23 if reports are to be confirmed.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, mate. Hey guys, this is obviously Luke from the 1892 Reds podcast. Cheers, Luke. Obviously, I've got one of the guests on the key speaker on the channel, Ricky, absolute legend. Obviously, this is Luke from the 1892 Reds podcast. Cheers for coming on the show, on the comments as well as the show, Ricky. Hey guys, sorry I can't join also with you guys. Kevin Palmer just confirmed the medical is done and Diaz will be confirmed. It was very posh, that confirmed as a Liverpool player very soon. That's very positive, Luke, as we were saying at the top of the show. Like, it probably will get announced as we go on live, or all three of us will probably have to do a quick video after tonight's show anyway, because Liverpool do like to tend to release the transfer window. I know the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain one, when we did sign him, that picked up a lot of pace. I remember doing like a podcast at a little video podcast on the channel at like 2 bells in the morning and releasing it. It was crazy. But obviously transfers can happen very quick. Also thought go with Fulham fan who passed away as well. Obviously there was an interruption to the game, and obviously the thoughts from the Liverpool family, and all three of us tonight go out to that fan and his family, and obviously the Fulham and obviously greater football and community in which we do find ourselves in as well. Thoughts as well. Gary Kashuna, Liverpool put a 20 million bid in. Atletico rejected. One thinks an improved offer of around 30 million plus a player. Gary, I don't know where you've seen that, mate. Let me know your source in terms of...
That was in the summer. That was in the summer just gone, I believe.
Oh, was that in the summer? Follow us up on that, mate. But yeah, just have a little look. I haven't seen anything concrete in terms of from my favourite journalists to have a look at. Tom, how you doing, Tom? Evening, Jack, crew, and all you LFC legends in here tonight. Up the effing Reds. You love to see it, Tom. Hope you're having a good night, mate, or morning, wherever you are. Hey up, lads. And you're very welcome to join on, mate. I don't know how your connection is at the minute, but the link is in the description of the video down below. If it isn't, let me know, because it will drop in there. But you're very welcome to join, mate. I want to know your thoughts on how Leicester are doing in terms of transfer window. Do you feel you need to strengthen? I think Leicester aren't in the best position currently in terms of, as we'll be speaking about transfers a bit later on as well. Fabian, how you doing, matey? Thank you for joining in again. Does anyone know what those 15 million in bonuses are on top of the main fee for Diaz? I'll let the other two lads talk about it. Con, do you want to have a little shot at it first?
As far as I think reading about it, it seems to be that 10 million is going to be in easy add-ons, and then the rest will be in hard add-ons. What that is, I don't know. Maybe it might be if he scores a certain amount, or I think obviously if he wins, I think the hard ones probably if they win the Champions League and Premier League. But apart from that, it's add-ons could be anything. It could be appearances, could be goals, could be assists. It's weird, isn't it? But yeah, it's to be fair, add-ons part of it pretty decent, because they could have added on anything onto that.
Yeah, we're not like certain other clubs within the Premier League who put like stupid. We have aspirations of winning everything and trophies, but who was it, Ricky? You can remember, or chat? Let us know. It was a previous transfer. You put a bid in for someone around Europe, and he laughed it off because he put like he'd win the league or Champions League, and they were like, "No, he's never going to do that." Let us know. There probably has been a lot of them anyway. But Ricky, what release clauses do you reckon Diaz has got in his contract? I think as Connor's alluded to, a lot of them there. Mainly the modern day ones, like we've seen with Salah and Van Dijk and Mane, are performance-based ones, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we'll end up giving Porto a bit more money if we win the league, the Champions League. I think there might be some based on how many goals he scores in the Premier League, possibly how many goals he scores for his country as well. Teams tend to put them ones in their international-based bonuses as well for teams. One of the hard ones might be if Colombia win the Copa America, that we give them some sort of bonus towards that. But there's been rumours that we're paying 12.5 million up front, then another 12.5 the summer after, and then another 12.5 the summer after. I mean, if we're paying that, we're in good hands going forward after Edwards leave, because I believe it was Julian Ward that sort of run this transfer with Diaz, with Edwards watching over him. But I mean, it's unbelievable sort of deal like that, and how we've come in the last minute, and it was all wrapped up in a day, pretty much. I mean, we've gone from the days where Liverpool take 4 weeks to go scout someone, go over there, negotiate, Ian Air days, when, what was it, Konoplyanka, when we went over to Ukraine, and we spent about
mention that name on the channel.
4 weeks over there, and then we bottled it in the last second. But I mean, it's good to see that we're wrapping deals up quick these days and quiet on the sly.
Yeah, that was like obviously in the 60s and 70s. That's what Liverpool used to do as well, and under Kenny and Shanks and Bob, really in reality. But you're spot on there, lads. But yeah, I think as we said there, Fabian, hopefully that does cover your question, mate. Cheers for that. Book tickets for the Liverpool away this morning. Why the F is it on a Thursday night? Then when either team has a game on the weekends, stupid. Obviously Premier League or FA or whatnot. Anyway, but it doesn't matter, mate. Yeah, we'll still be on. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be a walk in the park. I mean, another win for the Mighty Reds. But yeah, it's stupid, mate. When they do play. Big sign of the season is Lampard for the Ev manager. Tom, we'll save that for later and for all the Everton fans to come in. But obviously, we'll let Tom bask in his glory for a good 60 seconds. But yeah, Tom, you're going to win the league now, aren't you, lad? He's going to win the league with that appointment. More like the Championship League with that, mate. But I'll be on. I'll be joining in 2 minutes if you send the link. And if you go in the description, it should be there, mate. But yeah, make sure you did that. But Tom, 23 people watching, 26 now, an absolute legend. Smash that like button, all you legends if you already haven't done. Cheers for that, Tom. Absolute legends. But Connor, I'll ask you before I have to let the cat out. Must be an Everton fan. Swear she's an Everton fan, this cat. But in relation to, obviously, Harvey Elliott, he is back in. Your thoughts on, obviously, the impact he's had in that behind closed door game against Wrexham, mates, and obviously Ricky, we'll go on from you after.
Well, first of all, I think Tilly is an Evertonian. I'm not going to lie, but no, Harvey Elliott. It's a fantastic news that he has been playing today in a pre-friendly. It's always nice that Liverpool rearrange for players, because I think we did it. I think with Virgil as well. I think we might have done a behind closed doors game for him during the summer with Joe Gomez, and that is a sign of Liverpool want him to hit the ground running, because of course Cardiff coming up in the FA Cup, that's most likely going to be the aim for him to start that and go again from there. And I think before his injury, of course, he was well on his way to being a brilliant player this season. And for me, I think he'll be there again. The problem is you've got to get his match fitness up. That's a key now. And, it will take time, but eventually he will get there. And for me, he gets into that midfield 100%.
Yeah, spot on, Con. Ricky, do you foresee him going straight into the squad for the game against Cardiff? If, obviously, as Con said there, you got to go and assist, and you think he'll hit the ground running, or it'll be something similar in terms of Van Dijk when he does come in? It won't be necessarily straight away he'll gain his form, especially after an injury he's had. It won't be that plain sailing, will it?
No, I do think you'll see him play a part in the Cardiff game. I think Klopp's already said that would be the game that we'll be looking to give him some minutes in. But it's good to see that he got an assist and goal today in a arranged friendly for him. Listen, Liverpool don't just arrange friendlies behind closed doors for any player coming back from injury. We've done it with Van Dijk, Gomez, so we must rate Elliott very highly if we're arranging a behind closed doors friendly to get him a little bit of match fitness, back playing some sort of competitive football. But like Connor said, when he's fully fit, he's straight back into that midfield three. I mean, the start of the season, he was unbelievable for us, and hopefully it don't take him that long to hit the ground running again. Oh,
yeah, you've got your mic muted.
You've done another Makendo.
There we go. No one's views have dropped. But yeah, and thank you very much for joining us, mate. Obviously, as you mentioned, we'll be talking about Luis Diaz in relation to transfers at the minute. But how are you feeling about Leicester's business at the minute? Do you feel Leicester should be doing a bit more in the window?
Probably, but we've literally, I know you lot sing you've got no money. We literally have no money because we're owned by a duty-free company and all the airports have been shut for the last 2 years. So we're skint. So I'm sort of just accepting till the summer we're not going to do much. And when you listen to a lot of the noise coming out of Leicester at the moment, it's almost as if the season's been written off. And that was almost the case before a ball had been kicked, which it's such a strange situation to be in. But I'm just waiting for the summer, and I'm expecting quite a few players to go in the summer, but quite a few sort of players to come in. So a bit of a rebuild. And I'm half expecting Rodgers to go before the summer as well.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Hopefully, if you obviously try and get you on as well. Appreciate you coming on, mate. It's always good to get a different perspective from a non-Liverpool fan as well. Obviously, North Reds, speaking about Marco Grujic, they always for the 10 million for the Grujic transfer, which is very interesting, North, innit? I think you see with a lot of clubs around Europe in relation to any transfers, dealings getting happening in and around Premier League and obviously the Bundesliga and the Spanish League and all of them really. But I reckon that was a case of Liverpool going in there with obviously doing the business in which they had done a couple of months prior to this Diaz transfer. You've got good communication. The deal must have went quite smooth. You've got good relations with the football club Porto, and it could have possibly. I was speaking to Connor about this. Ricky, do you reckon this is a case of obviously Liverpool have said we'll do a deal with you, but you knock off that 10 million possibly from the Grujic, even if they potentially do owe us 10 mil?
Yeah, it makes sense, wouldn't it, to tell them to not bother with the 10 million they owe us and just knock it off the Diaz deal. It's probably the easiest way about doing it instead of getting all the paperwork done like that. But I did see that, is it their manager, Consal? He was absolutely livid, apparently, that they've let Diaz go halfway through their season, but apparently it was due to the fact that they've gone out in the Champions League group stage that they can't afford to hang on to him, and they've been struggling financially. So I don't think they had the 10 mil to pay us for Grujic, so it just makes sense just to wipe it off and clean slate it.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, mate. Obviously, Gary discussing he is 22 years old, striker. He was tipped for the summer. He is the type of player that Klopp loves. He could replace Firmino. Who are you talking about there, mate? Let's have a quick look. Not too sure about you talking about there. You're talking about Kachuna. Obviously, he's be interesting. Yeah, we were speaking about him yesterday, weren't we, Gary? Nike sent us 70 million for shirt sales, 35 million on Diaz, still leaves 35. Could we maybe see another one push through the door, John? It'd have to be a Premier League club, mate, because obviously, if there's continental stuff, the Diaz transfer, you've got half of Liverpool's medical staff flying over from around the globe to get this deal done. Obviously, the modern day footballing facilities in world football, even universities now, the modern day universities in and around the world, they would be classed as very functional and able to do high profile transfers, because obviously medical professionals have developed so rapidly in recent times. So it's fantastic stuff there, mate. But John, fingers crossed, but I think we're being a bit too greedy, but it's always good, which we'll discuss in a little second. Taki and Divock Origi as well. You have to try that with Maguire. What was that the case of that, Ant, in terms of what we were talking about?
That was, when they came in for Maguire, they tried a £60 million bid and then extra 20 millions on add-ons if they won the league, Champions League and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We told them to swivel on it and we wanted an £80 million upfront payment. So
yeah, no, I think it probably was that, mate. Yeah, nice one for that one. Probably was that typical United. Probably got them winning the Champions League double or something in the contract. But that won't happen until another 30 years, that, mate. Diaz to score on his debut. Fingers crossed, Gary. Someone has made a song about Diaz's magic, having a tragic salad. That's a good shout, that answer. You never know. It's defo the away fans, the amazing Liverpool fans. Defo, it takes seconds for them to make it a little tricky. Luis Diaz might join some show up the defence. They could do with even a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old centre half at this rate, mate. They can't concede. Well, they can barely keep a clean sheet anyway. But how you doing, Willow? Cheers for dropping in, mate. Absolute legend. Elliot will play a part in one of the finals. Interesting there, lad. There he is. Hello, Ant. How you doing? Spot on there. Jamie, evening, Jack and panel. Jamie, I don't know if you're very busy. Yeah, you probably are, mate, but the link is in the description, Jay. You're very welcome to jump on, or anyone for that matter. We're just discussing, obviously, we'll go on to Divock Origi and Taki Minamino at the minute. But if you're jumping in the show live, you can rewind this episode, and then obviously you can get up to date latest on Diaz anyway in relation to that. But yeah, I hope you've had a good day, mate, and cheers for dropping in. Aren't you happy with that, Ant? He's a fridge. Oh yeah, tell you that. Not just all Leicester fans, but even Liverpool, when we sold Sterling at the time. Don't get me wrong, Sterling's went on to win league titles and that, but 50 million was a lot of money. And obviously, Ant, with us with Coutinho, when a club comes and bids something stupid for the player, and you're like, you can't say no.
No, it's one of those. Like for us, I actually think he's a much better player than what he's been at United. I think he's been absolutely dreadful at United. For us, he was a decent centre back, but he was never an £80 million centre back. I'll put him, in like that Tarkowski, Lewis Dunk sort of range of centre back. But the fact he's the most expensive defender in the world, and they didn't even pay it in instalments, it's a joke. Because Maguire going's funded Fofana for us, funded Tielemans, and it funded, I don't know if you've seen our new training ground, it funded like a huge part of that as well. So yeah, it's like you say with Coutinho, like sometimes I'm not comparing Maguire to Coutinho in terms of the type of player, but in terms of the type of deal, sometimes you've got to sort of see a player go to move forward.
Yeah, no, it's the thing with us. You've seen it, Hans, haven't you, from an outside point of view, and I think a lot of teams, no player is bigger than a football club, and I think the transfers, which we will discuss a bit later on in around world football, some of them have got such bad attitudes, really, haven't they? But we'll move on as well. Spot on there, gents and ladies in the chat as well. We discussed, obviously, Harvey Elliott is back. He's more or less back in full training now. He had a goal and an assist in his the behind closed doors friendly that Liverpool specifically arranged for him, Harvey Elliott. That says everything that you need to know about what Jurgen Klopp and very much what Liverpool think of this lad. He is the priority. He will be getting to Liverpool starting 11. Like he already has this season, started his first 3 games in the Premier League and obviously the Champions League game as well. So, but yeah, cheers, lads. If you don't mind dropping a like on the video as well, really does help the YouTube algorithm gods. But we'll move on to the 2 main man that is being heavily publicised in relation to players moving out the football club. Ricky, we'll start with you, mate. You can talk about Divock Origi. Where do you see him going in this window in the next couple of hours? Do you foresee him currently staying and vacating the shirt at the minute whilst he can for the next 12 months and then he leaves? I think the release clause in Divock Origi's contract is very heavily dependent on appearances based. And even if Diaz does join the football club, he's going to be limited to so less minutes. But your thoughts on Div's transfer, mate?
I don't think we sell Divock Origi this January unless 15 million comes in. I think that's what they're looking for. No one's really sure on his contract if it's up this summer or the next summer. Yeah. I'd like him to stay at least till the summer. I think he at least deserves that. Listen, he's not a world beater. He scored some important goals for us. He's a very likeable guy. Apparently, ran the training ground. Even in Liverpool, he's a well-liked guy. So I think he at least deserves to stay till the summer and let him leave on his own terms, in terms of the club he wants to go to, instead of us forcing him to one of these poor teams that are apparently interested in January. Unless they're going to pay the money, just keep him.
Yeah, spot on there, mate. And from an outside point of view, are you surprised that not a lot of clubs around in the Premier League, especially look at the likes of West Ham, struggling? Their whole season is massively dependent on a player like Antonio. Are you surprised from an outside point of view that no one's come in or you're quite content, and Liverpool should be realistic in terms of any potential transfer fee that they do get? Will it be quite small?
I think, yeah, you got to be realistic of it. He's not the best player in the world. As you say, he's come up with some big moments for you, but he's like, even when you see the drop off from like your starting front three or four, depending on how you're playing, to Origi is a big drop off. And I think what saying about West Ham, why they've got it so right over recent years, is they've gone away from taking big club rejects and they've started doing their own scouting and looking for players abroad. But like what they've done with Souček, Kofau, and even like championship players like Ben Rama. So it's about finding the club willing to pay that. But when you've got like the option of a player who's proven in the Premier League, he's very much hit and miss, who you very much know the limits of, or you could bring in like Leicester with Patson Daka, which would be about the same sort of fee as what you're asking for Origi. I think you're almost pricing him out of a move by asking for 15 million. So I almost think he's worth just keeping there, like, and losing out on the money just for that depth, just in case, just if you need him till the end of the season.
Yeah, it's an important point you've mentioned there, mate. Spot on. The squad depth, not just for Liverpool, but for most squads there as well. Con, we'll discuss Taki now as well in relation. The rumour latest currently as it stands, is it 17 million reported that Liverpool, in and around 15, 17 million that Liverpool are looking to get from the Japanese international? If that is the case, are you surprised that we've got that much for him if he does leave?
Yeah, I would be. Look, ever since Taki's joined the club, it's been a period of interruption, hasn't it? Come in the January, COVID hit in the March, and it's always been an up and down period for him. He's never had that chance to, become like that Jota, break into the team and, have his shot. And apparently we've turned down a bid from Leeds for around 16 mil. I think Liverpool won around 20. And it's like what Anne said. It's the same as Divock Origi. A little bit pricing him out of a move. I think, of course, before COVID and all like that, if it was 20 million, I think clubs would be more in for Taki. But I think everyone's being cautious with their cash at the minute, unless your name's Newcastle United. But it is that way. I think Liverpool, it's most likely Taki will leave out of the two, and I think he'll most likely be on loan. I know Monaco are also interested in him, which is a weird one for me, but I think he'll be more so alone, and then they'll figure out something in the summer then. But I can't see Liverpool getting 20 million for Taki with 2 days left of the window.
Yeah. Just a quick one, lads. Ricky, where do you reckon Taki will go? Just name a couple of clubs. We've mentioned Leeds, but do you reckon he'll go to a Prem team, or, as Con alluded to, a cheeky Monaco? But would that be very surprising?
I'd happily drive him around places for Liverpool if they wanted, because, I mean, if we're turning down 16 million, I'd chop your arm off for it. I mean, he's absolute dreadful. I mean, there's a reason Southampton never took the permanent deal up for him. We paid 7.5 million for him. Just take the 15, 16 mil and run. I mean, whoever we're getting that off, we're absolutely ripping off. So I think just get rid of him.
Yeah, no, all the best to Taki as well, and lads as well. But I'll be very surprised, I think all of us tonight, if come the end of the transfer window, if it does shut and he's still at the club, especially if Diaz does come into the club as well, there's going to be limited time and spaces, really. So fingers crossed Taki can seal his move before the window does shut. And all the best to him as well. Obviously, make sure you haven't missed anyone. Willow Maguire gets on the pitch and just stands there like a post. He's so bad, isn't he? Leicester sell Maguire for 80 million is like my sister selling rose water perfume and saying it's like Chanel. Great one, Jay. Got to be at least 35 to 40 million for both them when they go north. You're talking about Taki and Divock, but if that is the case, if we can recoup that, lads, that is very much. I've just seen Tom Green in. We'll get him in now. In a second, he's got a little bit. You just knew it. If we could get 40, 50 million, that could be a positive. That's a whole new player in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It could be the Jude Bellingham half funds. That's a hope.
Half the transfer there.
It's hope. Look, it's hope. But again, I just can't see us getting that for both Taki and Divock. It's, again, like I said, I think before, obviously, the pandemic, yes, 100%. I think that would be a realistic target, but I don't know. I think unless we show a Champions League presentation to a club, this is what Divock can do, and they're just going basically off of that, then it's sound. But yeah, I can't see us getting that, to be awfully honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, Jen. So if you don't mind dropping a like on the video as well, really just help the algorithm. Absolute legends, every single one is that is tuning in. And obviously Vicky, Ant and Connor, and we'll be introducing Tom now as we speak. How you doing, Tom? Thank you for joining.
No worries. How are we, boys? All good?
Yeah, not too bad. As you can see from Tom's smile and his big massive
Champions League, here we come.
Oh boys! Oh no! I'm gone in a bit, Tom. No Champions League talk for you, mate. Yeah,
someone's happy for a Derby reject manager.
Yeah, no, we're spot on, lads. It's and hopefully I've got a lot more shows like this planned. Obviously, not just my point of view, but I created a channel to just connect a load of football fans. Any football fans or rival fans or Liverpool channels that want to reach out, you're very welcome to. I'd love to get you on the channel and just discuss football with the lads or ladies if you love watching football as well. To just be lads. Obviously, the women. There's so many intelligent women out there that know a lot more than me. But anyone's welcome. Apart from my mum, she used to know John Barnes and all that back in the day, but she hasn't watched a Liverpool match in about 40 years. But yeah, spot on. Tom, just a quick one. We'll go straight into, obviously, we were going to discuss Frank Lampard just a bit later, but as you're in here now, Tom, but just your general thoughts on the appointments in relation to Frank Lampard, mate?
Well, I'm happy. I'll put it this way. I'm happy. All right. I know a lot of people like scrutinise him and say that he's a fraud and he's this and that. But to be fair, he's done all right at Derby. He done the first season with Chelsea very well. Second year, he started buying a load of players that he probably couldn't handle and manage properly. But that first year, he brought the youngsters in, and that's what I like about him. He brings the youth in. So I think that's what we need more, is the youngsters coming in and showing the pride that they actually want to play for Everton Football Club.
Yeah, it's an important factor in it, Tom. Obviously, looking from an outside point of view, I think even Ant, with the appointment of Rodgers at Leicester, it's difficult, and especially in the modern era of football now, isn't it, lads? That time can pass very quick within football, and the predicament in which you do find yourselves in, Tom. Would you class that as one of the most important appointments in Everton's history as a club?
Yeah, because if he doesn't get some results, then obviously, to be fair, it's the fans that wanted him, because we could have went for that Pereira. We could, if Bashiri could have easily got him if he wanted to.
Because he didn't go for them.
But to be fair, he's listened to the fans, which is the main thing for a chairman to do, is listen to his fans. And we've got the man that the fans wanted. So if it doesn't go well, then he could just turn around and say, well, you wanted them, it's your fault.
Yeah, absolutely spot on that. And Tom, you've seen a lot of Diaz. Obviously, you do watch like a lot of European football, mate. Do you reckon he'll embed into this Liverpool side very well?
Mate, he'll slot in like a little leather glove there, mate. Honestly, he'll slot in perfectly in your squad. I can't believe he's even gone to Liverpool. To be honest, because I know we were sniffing around him for a while, and then that just went out the window.
Lad, you sniff around a load of players, lad. Even all championship level quality as well, lad. But
to be honest, our transfer list is probably bigger than Newcastle's at the moment, and we've got no money to spend.
Yeah, Everton ends up getting liquidated soon if they carry on. But yeah, spot on there, lads. Leeds want Tacky. They have him included in the Rafinha deal. John, I think all of us will fall off our seats or out of our beds or whatever we're standing on, just jump out of a window as well. Like if we did actually pull off Rafinha, I tell you what, lads, that would be the dream, creme de la creme. We would, Ricky, we'd have the best attack in Europe, wouldn't we? If we did get Rafinha and got rid of obviously Divock and Mini.
A lot of Liverpool fans have been crying about squad depth. I mean, if we had got Rafinha as well, where are we going to put him? I mean, it'd be running out of space to play him.
Yeah, no, spot on that. Always believed Taki was brought into enhance obviously the Asian fan base. Yeah, I think there was a good quality player in there, and there still is. But currently, when you're playing for Liverpool Football Club, you only have limited opportunities to very much perform. If you don't perform in certain games and certain seasons, it's all right. Certain other clubs that you're allowed poor performances, but even at the likes of Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, or any top sides in England and around Europe, it's very hard and difficult to do that, mate. But spot on there. Is that an actual Everton fan? Yeah, believe it or not, Suki. I don't know where I dragged the Tom from. Anyway, but much love, lad. Anyway, free chat cheers for dropping in, mate. Yeah, no, all of you are intelligent, mates. Absolute legends. I am back. William, how you doing, mate? Thank you very much. And thank you to every single one of you that is a new subscriber. Obviously, we do tend to try and live stream most nights as well and talk about not just Liverpool, but general football chit-chat as well. Have a good laugh, chilled, relax, and a load of banter as well. Always is the case when me and Tom are around anyway. I think Con has disappeared. Where have you gone, Con? He's ran away. But yeah, appreciate it, lads. But we'll go on to, we've spoken about obviously Harvey Elliott being back, Divock Origi, Taki, and obviously Luis Diaz, the latest thoughts on Tom's put his input and obviously Ant as well. Transfers, which will round off the next 18 minutes, lads, as well. It is a massive part of football, the transfers. And the last 24 hours, it's gone mad for Liverpool. But if there's anyone that we have missed tonight, Reds, as well as any general football fans, we will discuss Christian Eriksen, Aubameyang, the man, the myth, the Aubameyang, Bentancur going to Aston Villa as well, Vlahovic, Adama, Isaac, and obviously we already have discussed, we're going to the Ev anyway. So first off, Con, we'll start off with you, Christian Eriksen, going, hopefully sealing officially. It might have already been confirmed at the minute, but obviously due to what happened in the last 6 months around Christian Eriksen, it's understandable that this deal is taking a bit more time, longer than expected, but rightly so. We just want to make sure that Eriksen is safe and proper to go into the football straight away. But your thoughts on this transfer? It could be a massive signing for Brentford, really, mate. A player of that quality going into a newly promoted side and a side that is not looked out of place in the Premier League, is it?
No, absolutely, and I absolutely hope the deal goes ahead. Of course, what happened to Eriksen, it was really frightening at the time, and if he can come back and compete in Premier League footy, then I think it'll be the best thing that has happened this year. It's the fact that he has said it. He wants to go with Denmark. He wants to go and play in the World Cup, which if he can get the move done, if he can manage to play in Premier League games, I think he'll definitely go. Still watching the free kick, I think when he was training with Ajax, the free kicks he was doing, still plenty of quality there. And I hope he does. And look, it's probably one of the most exciting transfers, in the lower half of the Premier League. You look at it and go, you wouldn't say that a couple of years ago because, of course, from Tottenham to Inter. And I think that he'll do a fantastic job there. But it's, keeping him safe because, of course, what happened. And hopefully he does come back and, lights up the Premier League again.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, lad. We'll get to everyone's comments as well. Oh, come on, Han. Han said, come on. LFC are wasting money on players for the sake of popularity points. Yeah, you're spot on there, Han. And I think this notion on obviously social media, it's Anna, you know yourself as well, and a lot of Reds around the globe. Liverpool wait and Liverpool bide their time. Jurgen Klopp sits on his hands, our transfer, as much as it frustrates us Liverpool fans. But if fans ran Liverpool's, all of us, me, Ricky, all of us, we'd put the club into liquidation because we'd honestly, we'd be signing everyone, mate. We'd be signing we would have signed so many horrible players. We would have signed Fekir with one leg. Yeah, I know he's not been injured for about a good 12 months since he's went to Real Sociedad or wherever he went to, but it's a point of fact that we'd be knackered if the fans, all of us, ran Liverpool's transfer. But thankfully, we've got a manager in Jurgen Klopp that knows the stuff. We all know he knows the stuff. He knows what players suit his system, and he has integrated the people within the club that make the right decisions. As much as it frustrates us, we'd love to sign a cheeky player every window, but being realistic, you can't do that. But yeah, you're spot on there, Han. I think Diaz should be done in the next coming hours. Spot on there, William. Absolute legends. I'm still laughing at Spuds. Yeah, we'll get on to them, mate, soon, Gary. Oh yeah. Anyone know what? No. Not too sure on that one, mate. Doctor, not too sure on some of those comments. It's been 23 has been mentioned. Yeah, obviously, Sir Oswald. It'd be interesting. Obviously, I asked Ricky in with that, but obviously it was Shaqiri's old number, and obviously Jamie Carragher's old number as well. So it'd be tremendous if he does get that. You never know. Hopefully, if Milner does leave the football club in the end of his current contract, Diaz could pick up the number 7 shirt, or you never know. It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting to see. I'm from Colombia. Delightful with Diaz signing for Liverpool. I just hope Klopp gives him a lot of minutes. Alejo, thank you very much for joining, mate. From Colombia, tremendous. Hopefully a Liverpool fan, mate. But I'm excited. Alejo, you've seen a lot more of him. Obviously, playing for your national side. Let me know your thoughts. What's his biggest attributes as a player? Obviously, his pace is a massive benefit, in fact, to him being the signing that Liverpool signed anyway. But let us know in the comment section below, mate. It's the beauty of doing YouTube, lads. We're getting broadcasted to Colombia. It's tremendous. But yeah, thank you. Lampard, Redknapp, so turn down the base. Fingers crossed.
Oh, jeez.
Greetings, Colombia Reds. Absolute legends there. Apparently, at Neverton, we're after. Yeah, so as well, we were speaking to Tom about that before as well. Even he said he's a bit gutted, but they're stuck with, sadly, Iwobi. So up the Iwobi. But yeah, apparently the rumours, Diaz wanted the number 10 shirt.
No chance.
No, there's no chance. If that was the case, my man Sadio Mane, no one's taking Sadio's number off him. I think even if he did have a scrap with him, he would have actually knocked him out anyway. But I've got the whole gang together here. There we go. All right, Luke, where have you been hiding? You're meant to be on it like about 9.
That way, one half turned up at least.
Yeah, we joke a lot. Cheers for joining me, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I've had a real busy day. So I've literally only just got back into my front door. So hearing the news that Diaz is obviously, he's imminent, obviously today or tonight, tomorrow morning. It's excellent news for Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tremendous, mate. Obviously, I really do appreciate you taking the time out to come on tonight, mate. All of you as well, gents, and obviously Connor. Hopefully, Connor can join back. But if not, make sure you head over to Connor from the Cop Council, obviously the 1882 Reds podcast, Ricky and Luke. And shout out your channel as well, mate.
So Ants Leicester fan channel. I was commenting earlier in the stream. Just click on that if you just want to hear me chatting absolute shite about Leicester.
Oh, today everyone listens to me and all of us on here, but yeah, appreciate it, mate. And obviously, Tom, I told you to do a channel. You probably will when you start winning a couple of games, won't you?
Nah, no chance, mate. I haven't got the time to do it, lad. I work all summer, and then the winter time I just do nothing, mate. So there's no point.
Yeah. Right now, spot on, lads. Anyway, appreciate you tuning on. I know it's quite late in the night. Don't want your door to get told off. But make sure you haven't missed anyone. The good of shames. It's not the manager that decides on signings. It's FSG. I want them out of our club today. You'll never walk alone.
Wow.
Thank you for your comment, mate. It's a big shout there. It's a big shout, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone's joined there, but I think you have to put your mic on there, fella, and then we'll add you into the green room. Boys, what do you think about Jota, Salah, and Diaz? MK Ann? Luke, obviously you've just joined. What MK's had to say there? Your thoughts on that proposition of those?
Just looks amazing, doesn't it? I mean, we've been talking about Liverpool's depth over the last, nearly 2 seasons. Like, are we going to improve it? How are we going to improve it? And to see those 3, and let's not forget Sadio Mane. Hopefully, will still be a Liverpool player next season. So hopefully Jurgen Klopp doesn't have to make that decision whether one of the front 3 or front 4 will have to leave in place of Luis Diaz. But hopefully Mane will be a part of that as well. But I mean, it just looks breathtaking, doesn't it? I mean, if you look at the attacking lineups in the top 6, I mean, Liverpool and City are right up there with, the very best in world football. And to see Liverpool being able to improve their attack with a very good player coming in Diaz, it just looks superb. And let's hope he obviously brings us some success and some trophies along the way.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on there, lad. Make sure you do head over to subscribe to lads' channels as well. Don't mind dropping a like on the video as well. Try and get to at least 50 likes before we do finish tonight, Reds. Absolute legends. Obviously, high hands. But yeah, MK, it's tremendous, and I can't wait. Obviously, we had Ricky discussing and Connor before, but exciting times ahead. And this notion, as obviously Luke's just already alluded to, of replacing a certain player, I don't think that would be the case. Years gone by, I think pre-Klopp, that was our model if we wanted to sign a player. But Jurgen Klopp, I think the whole point of him potentially in the next coming weeks or months, if it is a case of Salah signing his deal, I think we might see Jurgen Klopp signing a new deal, because he's bringing in these players that are at an age that are around about 25 to 26, 27, that will progress past his current deal, in which he does find himself in. And I think it would be wrong for him, wouldn't it, Ricky, to jump ship when all these players are coming to the end of the tenure of the contract at Liverpool?
Yeah, massively. I think if we're bringing these players in, like Diaz is 25, we've tied down Van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho, all these players, and they seem to be signing contracts to the length of Klopp. So hopefully they're all tied down to 2025, 2026. So I'm hoping Klopp signs that 2025 deal, 2026 deal. But Salah's the one I think we need to get done before Klopp, because I think it's more important to get the player tied down than the manager at the minute, because Klopp's in no rush to sign a new deal. But we need to get Salah tied down before he runs out of contract next summer, because we don't need to be getting into a situation where it becomes January time next year and Salah still ain't signed that new deal, and then other teams will start be talking to him, and then that's when his head could get turned. But it don't help with his agent on social media, Salah putting silly tweets out of him and Salah laughing. I mean, he just needs to grow up, the geezer. Like, I mean, we're offering Salah the best deal we can possibly offer him. I see people saying, "Oh, just give him what he wants." You give him what he wants, he's just going to smash the complete wage structure. You're going to see players wanting to come in on that sort of money that haven't earned it. So we've got to be smart about it. It's a business move more than a football move. Yeah,
I was just saying, like, I'm sorry to interrupt on that, Jack. I think it's a good point where, Ricky makes. I think, if you give Salah an extra, say, 3 seasons, it's obviously going to cost the club a lot of money. You know, it's going to cost the club potentially. You're looking between 40 to 50 million if you're looking at that. You know, with the wages and the signing on bonus, etc. Liverpool have then got to think, right, if we're going to give Mo Salah a big contract, which every Liverpool fan wants, there's going to be, in my opinion, 2 or 3 players that are going to be out the door, because we'll need money, one, to cover that cost of the contract, but 2, it's, as Ricky said, and I agree with him, you don't want to just give him, you know, everything that he wants. Like, you know, rumours saying that he wants up to 500 grand a week, or 450, 500 grand a week. As much as we feel as football fans in this day and age, Salah could be worth that amount of money. At the end of the day, like, if we're giving him money, then the likes of Van Dijk, who signed a new contract, and Alisson, who signed a new contract recently, they're going to be thinking, well, where is important in this team as well as Salah? You know, like, why are we not on that amount of money? You're going to have players like Sadio Mane, who's out of contract as well as Salah. He's going to be another one. He's going to be thinking, well, I've been pivotal to this success before when Salah turned up, you know, at Liverpool. So there's a lot of things that Liverpool do need to escalate before they do hand this contract out. I personally think that Salah's contract will be done probably by the end of the season. I don't think it's going to be done anytime soon. But, I mean, to see Liverpool acting with signing Diaz for this amount of money, I think that might give Salah a bit of an indication as well to say, right, I'm here to stay. And hopefully FSG will act on, you know, that to say, right, we've got the players now for you, Salah, to actually go, you know, prolong your stay at Liverpool for another 2 to 3 seasons. So hopefully it just gets done as soon as possible. But let's hope Liverpool are smart with what they do with their negotiation.
Yeah, spot on there, lads. Absolutely spot on there. And I think your point, your perfect point is Aubameyang. I know with Arsenal, I think everyone, you didn't have to, from a neutral, looking from an outside point of view, he's not that Salah or Mane or Liverpool's players would do that, but certain players in the Premier League have done that in the past. Got a big contract and just down tools. Aubameyang is a very select player in relation to that. Not all players are like that, but you never know. Some players can be like that in relation, but spot on there, lads. Make sure you haven't missed out any comments. If you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below as well. And don't mind dropping a like on the video. Try and get at least 50 likes on tonight's show. Absolute legends. Medical, not over 2 days, do claim. It's more or less done, mate, at the minute as we stand. I think as soon as we go off the show tonight, a lot of the South American journals will very much be tweeting. It probably will get announced midnight tonight, or the official confirmation will be very early hours tomorrow morning. And I think all of us will do a live show here, and it'll be a live show here, live show there, everywhere on social media from everyone and everyone. But rightly so, the excitement's continuing to build, and it's going to be an exciting season, not just for Liverpool, but obviously Leicester, for Everton, for everyone. The Premier League, as it stands, is the best league in world football, and there's no one even comes close. I'm sorry. You've got teams within the mid-table of the Premier League that would go into other national leagues. Obviously, the French league did. Aston Villa would wipe the floor with the French league, mate, and that's saying something for it, and that's facts. And even Leicester would did go to all the teams within the mid-table would give even Bayern Munich. I know Bayern Munich a tremendous side, but the Premier League is the league to be at. And if you're any player that wants to play and play in the best leagues with the best managers, you want to come to the Premier League. It's where the money is, most importantly, and where the best coaches are in world football. It used to be La Liga with Real Madrid and Barca, but both of them are a very long way away from where they used to be. Obviously, Real Madrid with Ancelotti at the minute, still playing very well, but they're not where they were winning back-to-back Champions Leagues all those seasons ago. But yeah, it will be getting announced very soon. Tom's, what's the plan for Goodison when you leave it? Yeah, go ahead, North. What's the update on that, mate? Is it even getting built? I drove down a couple of times by the docks, and no one's ever been to Liverpool in relation to that. It's Bramley Road docks in it, Tom.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's still going ahead. They just laid down the sand for it, was it? The last time I checked on it, I read up about it. So all they need to do is start putting pillars on or concrete the bottom base of it, and then it's ready to go up.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. because it is massive. Obviously, as soon as you lose a derby game, lads, you should all be jumping in the dock. Jumping in the River Mersey.
Jump out the window into the Mersey, yeah.
Absolutely twatting of a 6-0 Liverpool versus Everton in a brand new stadium. It's written in the stars. Did Spurs lose their first game? Does anyone remember?
They beat Palace.
Oh, did
I was about to say they won. Yeah, they won in the first game.
That's a shame, innit? So imagine if you unveiled a new brand spanking new stadium and you get absolutely walloped.
I think they lost the first game when they were at Wembley, weren't they? When they started playing at Wembley, I think they lost the first game there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was to Leicester as well. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
The King Power and that be interesting, but Derby's there to be interesting. Very, very interesting at the least. Brentford want. Jay's gone with Brentford want Nico. Could be a good move for him. Jay, Luke, thoughts on that, mate? Nico Williams potentially going to Brentford. Would that be a good move for him?
I think it would be. You've seen, some Liverpool players that have decided to make. If Nico Williams, it looks like it could be a loan move. I reckon. I don't think Klopp would allow that to be a permanent deal at the moment. But if he was decided to go to Brentford on a loan, for example, I think that'd be a good move for him for his development. I think he would be. It would definitely be good for him because he'll get a lot more regular minutes in the Premier League, and Brentford's definitely a side that I feel that he would be quite suited to. I think no disrespect. I don't think he's good enough to play in Liverpool's 11, or you see him in the odd few cup games. He has some moments, but I just don't think he's obviously at this level. But I mean, yeah,
consistency that winner.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, possibly if he had a regular run of games, I think you could see something about Nico Williams, but I don't know. I just think whenever I do see him play in a Liverpool shirt, sometimes I just don't think there's enough there. Maybe we're being a bit spoiled because we've seen the emergence of Trent.
Probably comparing to Trent.
Yeah. I think the emergence of Trent is we're too spoiled to assume that Nico Williams is going to be something along those lines as well. But I mean, obviously, we've got the talks of what if Trent ever moves into midfield in a couple of years' time, it might happen, it might not. Do we then decide to sort of think, do we need a different right back to be able to cover that position? Is Nico Williams that player? But if Brentford are interested, I think it'll be a very good move for him.
Yeah. Would you take a man at Leicester? Obviously, you've got Pereira. We've
got Pereira, we've got James Sting, then we've got Castagne. So he would probably come in 4th, 5th choice right back. He's one of those. I don't even at the moment. I know you say you think he's spoiled with Trent and stuff. I even comparing him to some average right backs in the league. I don't think he's all that. I think he's a championship right back. If I'm completely brutally honest about it, and it's I do think the gap is made to look bigger because you got the best attacking right back in the league in terms of Trent. Anyone you put next to him, the standards can be right up here of what you expect, but I just don't think he's great, to be honest.
Absolutely on there as well. Make sure you do keep on getting your comments in, and as well, if you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Obviously, make sure you head over to the 1892 Reds podcast. Ricky and Luke, these two gentlemen to my left, and then down there. But yeah, obviously, it'll be an interesting one that Jay if it does go through. And I think obviously he has been quite loud in recent weeks. Not recent weeks, but the past year about 13 minutes, and rightly so. He's at an age now really where you look at the likes of Terry Lamptey as well, and certain players. James just in a full back for you, mate, as well. Similar players at around that age need to be playing 13 minutes.
James Justin as well. He's one of those as well. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know I'm James Justice's biggest fan, so you're going to regret saying his name now. But he's one of those. He's left wing back, right wing back, can play centre back. And that's sort of when you're comparing Nico Williams to those, he hasn't mastered any position yet, in terms of right back. And then you compare it, as you said, Lamptey and then Cucurella as well at Brighton. There's so many.
Livramento as well. I love him as a player. He's well.
Yeah, there's so many wing backs who are around his age group who've already established themselves and are already doing so much better. He's going to have to take a real step down, I think. Like that's why I say Championship, because I still think he's going to struggle at Brentford to become like to break into that Brentford team, because they've got Rico Henry, who's a little player there. So I really do think, and like sometimes for players, you've seen it dropping down the leagues can be the best thing for him, and it might it might work well for him. But as of right now, I just think he's not all that.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? And
isn't he still getting picked for Wales though? In the national team?
I think so. Yeah, he's getting picked for the.
Well, yeah, they they still managed to qualify for the Euros and the World Cup, so you never know. But it's to be fair, I just think, like you say, Liverpool spoiled because you've got Alexander-Arnold all the way through. And Nico, I can see why he's frustrated because he wants his minutes. Like, if it was for me, I'll take him at Everton just for the fact that I'll just say, yeah, there's your minutes, go and play. You're an international, do what you want. I'll take him over Coleman now. Coleman's like a donkey now.
Yeah, he was past the sell by date, wasn't he? What were you lads more interested in, Diaz or Mo contract? Quick fire one, Ricky, Mo or Diaz?
Oh, Mo all day long. I mean, I'll get excited when Liverpool do a signing because we're not known for it, but getting Mo tied down to a contract would be the best signing you could ever do.
Yeah. Luke, quick one, Mo or
Diaz,
more excited for?
I mean, both. But I mean, Salah's contract is definitely the number one priority.
Yeah, spot on. Well, Tom, I'd ask you, Mo's contract.
To be honest, I'm not really bothered, to be honest, mate. I hope Salah asks for as much money as he wants, and he goes, "I'm not getting it," and does one. That's what I want, basically.
As I say, but. Yeah, spot on there, mate. Make sure it's a quick one there, Tom, as well. Ants mentioned, you're intrigued that Rooney did turn this down. There's no surprise because obviously that job at Derby, the job he's doing is absolutely tremendous, and it's sad by the fans that he's been let down by the board, and hopefully they don't get liquidated. But it's the sign of the modern day football club. Sadly, no club is ever too big to go down or get liquidated or die. Obviously, Berry no more. Sad. There was thousands of people that grew up over the good 100-year history of English football, mate. But are you surprised that Rooney stayed at Derby?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. To be fair, like a lot of people said at the beginning of the season, like, "Oh, why don't you get Rooney? Why don't you get Rooney?" It's like, because Rooney wants to finish his job at Derby. He said at the beginning of the season, "I will be here till things get sorted out."
Yeah.
And then, he done an interview yesterday and just said that he is ready to be a Premier League manager, and he does see himself he's going to do, but he wants to finish the job that he started at Derby. Because if he walks away from Derby now and they liquidate, they'll just call him a coward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's spot on there, La. I think I think he's a better manager than Frank Lampard at the minute. Obviously, I think with Gerrard, it's this era we all grew up. I think our era of watching these players, it was very similar to certain players. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, great footballer for Spain, and the great legendary managers. Certain managers like Klopp didn't have the best managerial career. Well, sometimes you don't need that, but a lot of the modern day coaches now are very much high profile players. Pirlo at Juventus didn't quite happen with him. Patrick Vieira at Palace, he's doing a tremendous job. Obviously, Stevie at the Villa. Obviously, Lampard going to Everton as well. And there's so many managers within the Prem at the minute. It's intriguing, and I think a lot of them will succeed, but I think a lot of them will take a lot more longer than expected. I think with Lampard, I think he's a bit too arrogant. I think he just walks into a club and expects to get a job. But with Stevie and certain managers, you look at quite a lot. Xabi Alonso in Spain as well took a large time away from the limelight. Like Gerrard, I think Xabi Alonso coached Athletic Bilbao's or whoever, someone in Spain. They're like second or third team for a good 2 years now. But yeah, Stevie was in Scotland for 3 years, won the league title, and again, he can make the decisions that are wrong there and not make them at, say, Villa or Liverpool, really. But absolute legends. Make sure you don't miss any comments if you had. Let me know. Get them back in anyway. Thoughts on Waltman and Gordon breaking through this season. They'll be good players for Everton, won't they, Tom? I've been really impressed with Gordon.
Yeah, I like Gordon. He's he's very you can tell that he wants to get in every challenge and grind hard, and I think that's what we've been missing, kind of like a player like that. But the worst thing is we need it more in the middle. Someone to do like what Thomas Gravison used to, or Lee Carsley, or Osman. Just to be that a dirty little player now and again, just to give someone a little hard knock. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with the kids coming through. I'm looking forward to seeing more of the Ukrainian left back as well. I think he'll do well. He seems to be slotting in quite well. And Patterson, I watched him in the reserves game not long ago, and he seems to be on the ball as well. So the future will probably look bright for us. Lampard will bring the kids in.
Yeah, and any players that Liverpool fans or just football fans in general should just keep an eye out for? Anyone, obviously mentioned James Justin. Any young players in the academy? Obviously Leicester have got a great tradition of bringing young players through the academy. Anyone that we might have missed or someone to keep an eye on?
Well, Dewsbury Hall's for one at the moment who's really starting to break through into the first team. Obviously, I think he played against Liverpool and he had a really good game in there. He's one to keep an eye on. I think Lookman, if we can afford to make that permanent in the summer, and it sounds so tragic if we can afford to make that permanent, it's a 10 mil, but 10 mil to buy it permanent. But that's the situation we're in. I think those two are the ones that are really over the next couple of years going to be sort of breaking into our first team, becoming key players as well. Harvey Barnes, obviously, you guys know about Harvey Barnes.
Is the equaliser?
Oh, I love that meme. And the best thing about that is it came against United as well. But the thing that I love at the moment, and I think both Everton and Liverpool have had a tradition of it, but we've really started doing it now, is having so many local lads starting to come through the team into the first team. Because when you look, Dewsbury Hall from Leicestershire, Hamza Chowdhury, Leicestershire, who else? Harvey Barnes, Leicestershire, Luke Thomas, Leicestershire lad. That's four players that are regular starters for us, and I don't know, I don't want to I sound all like EDL racist now, but I only want local lads going up. That's not what I'm trying to mean, but I mean, in the fact of it is nice to see those sort of the lads from the local area getting that chance in the first team. It's like you've had it with Trent, and you sing it about him being
there's no better thing, is there, mate? Yeah, no better way. Like, how many local lads have you got currently? Is it? But Harvey's a local lad, isn't he?
I think in our 25-man squad, I think 8 of them are from Leicestershire.
Yeah.
I mean, that Dewsbury Hall. Yeah. I mean, when he played against Liverpool, he was very good. I think he was one of the best players on the night. To be fair, and he's probably single-handedly, not single-handedly, but his performance probably ended our hopes of a title. I mean, we're not giving up just yet, but. I just think that Leicester result was probably the one that we'll look back on at the end of the season to think what could he have been. But yeah, fair play to him. He's obviously a good young player coming through.
Yeah, fingers crossed you can get a result. And have you got City? After message, have you got
we're asking all fans. Have you got Man City? Just do us a
favor.
favour.
They bent us over 3 days before we played you, and then at the Etihad they put 6 past us.
Oh yeah, and then you play quite well against us. That does my head in, mate.
The thing is, I think there was a lot of Leicester fans that were really annoyed about a lot of things that had happened over that last week, and I think it was almost that siege mentality when we played Liverpool of we're going to get one back over you after the cup game sort of thing. Because I'd had COVID at the point at that time, but my mate who goes in, he used my season ticket for that game, said it was sort of like from the first minute, even though this season particularly, there's been a lot of Leicester fans have been frustrated with Brendan Rodgers and a lot of the tactics going, but it was almost from the first minute from that game to the 90th minute, there was non-stop sort of right behind the team, which it hasn't been this season. And I do think that there was it was almost that feeling of you did us a week before in the cup, and cheers Brendan for parking the bus at Anfield, clever man when we were on top. But the amount of times he's done that, I'm not going to get into a rant about Brendan Rodgers is like throwing away games, but the amount of times he's done that this season is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
I've messaged you many a time, lad.
But it did almost feel like that, just siege mentality of we're getting one back after we've been made to look mugs a week before.
Yeah, spot on that. It's interesting. But yeah, MK, maybe a 4 up front. You never know. 4-2-4. I tell you what, mate, that would all gun ho. I think Jürgen in his first season probably would have played that, but not now. A bit more reserved, a bit boring, but it gets you more results. Yeah, it's heavy metal football, like. But I tell you, it'd be tremendous. Imagine a front line of Diaz, Salah, Mane, and Jota, or even Bobby, or whatnot. Take a midfielder out 4-1-5, and then just play all 5. You never know. We need Mo contract. We very much do. D. Really appreciate it as well. If you're new around here as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and head over to the 1892 Reds podcast as well, and Connor from the Cop Council. Just a quick shout out. What shows have you got planned there, boys? He's got one tomorrow night on the transfers and that.
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, me and Rick were talking about doing it Monday, but seeing the Diaz news, obviously, it's we're probably going to bring it forward to tomorrow night. But Jack, I mean, if that's all right, mate, I've left our link in the comments. So if guys want to sort of come over and subscribe to the 1892 Reds podcast, come subscribe over to our channel as well. And Jack, as always, thank you very much for letting myself and Rick come on. Sorry for being an hour or so late.
I was only joking, mate. Yeah, obviously, it's not like me. You can't sit on your backside and do YouTube videos like me. But yeah, appreciate it. Obviously, absolute legends. It's the support that you used to, and everyone, even you, everyone on the show, and everyone in the chat as well. We just love talking footy, and we have a bit of banter as well. As long as everyone respects each other, that's most important as well in the chat. But it's a big family on the channel, and you welcome to all the new subscribers and to all the legendary OG ones. Appreciate everyone just tuning in as well. Absolute legends. Just quick on Ant. Klopp has said we want a break and wants to leave us stronger. Wouldn't he be doing it if he does rebuild, including this summer? Yeah, he's spot on there, and it'll be interesting. I think the next year will be massive for Jurgen Klopp in terms of what happens, but you spot on there what you said, La. Willow definitely need Salah's signature on that new contract. We are tired of waiting for you to come, Diaz. Exam, appreciate your comment, mate. Thinking you around here as well. So absolute legend. We're having a good day or morning or night, wherever anyone is around the globe. Obviously, YouTube and social media. Obviously, Mark's comments. Klopp contract up in 2024. Anyway, 2 years to go, boys. I don't want Klopp leaving Liverpool FC as boss, but if Klopp leaves Liverpool, then it will be Steven Gerrard as our next manager. Fingers crossed, Mark, that is the case. Obviously, Klopp. Do you reckon that'll be the quick one, Ricky and Luke? Do you reckon that will be the case? Or do you think it will be Pep Linders or possibly another manager around Europe?
I'd rather Gerrard not next. I think he's still got a lot to prove. I mean, we're a massive club. I think he needs to stay at Villa for longer than what the deal he's got if he can stay there and do well there. But I do think we need someone who's a top manager next after Klopp, because you don't want to happen to what happened to the likes of Arsenal, Man United, where you make a mistake and then you go backwards 5 years. I mean, you need to get the next best thing out there after Klopp. Obviously, Pep's at City, Klopp leaves. Maybe Nagelsmann from Bayern Munich, someone like that. But it needs to be someone top. I don't think Gerrard will be ready to come in next after, because it's a rebuild. Gerrard ain't going to be good enough to do the rebuild. We need someone top to do that for him.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Jack, I just seen someone's comments on Pep Linders. For me, as much as Pep Linders has been an excellent person, an excellent assistant manager for Liverpool, for me, no, I wouldn't like him as the manager. But I disagree with you, Rick. I think Gerrard takes the job, and I'll get your viewpoint. I think Liverpool's a massive job. I mean, if he does a good job at Villa over the next 2 to 3 years, and Jurgen Klopp does decide to step down, I think Gerrard takes it. I don't think it's a position where I don't think Gerrard will say no to it, and I think Liverpool will offer him that position. So it's a difficult one, and I sort of see what you mean about keeping that sort of higher profile manager. I like to, keep that sort of process going, because obviously we'd still be in a position to win big trophies, and obviously like a manager like I don't know, like a Nagelsmann or someone sort of higher profile would be a lot easier to get maybe, but I think Gerrard takes it in 24 if Klopp doesn't renew the contract.
Yeah, spot on there, lads. And everyone, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for dropping your comments in. I will have to shoot through a load of them, but I will read out everyone. Obviously, just key some read up to date on all the chat, but spot on there, lads. It'd be interesting to see who the next manager is, but time will tell. Mark, I keep Salah at any cost, and Klopp spot on there. Alejo, it's the only but Diaz and Sadio Mane play the same position. As I said, I'm from Colombia, and I think Diaz, it's a great talent and a great person and a better future. But to be honest, today Mane's ain't better. Really do appreciate your comment, mate, and it's tremendous. That I wish I could speak 2 languages. I can speak English and Scouse. I don't know if that counts, but yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for your comment, La. I appreciate everyone. It's tremendous what YouTube, everyone getting comments in, but obviously the Colombia fans are massively made up, and rightly so, because he's a tremendous player, and obviously the exposure, especially in South America, even more for Liverpool as a club, will be massive. It's correct that Diaz won't be cup tied for Champions League. Yeah, Zero's World go straight into Liverpool's Champions League squad, so it's very positive. Yeah, fully agree with you, Luke. Obviously, spot on there. Phillips Origi off in January, possibly Minamino. Bobby will think end up at Barca as Mane and Mane PSG. Interesting there, and to correct Oswald. Diaz would not be cup tied Champions League. Obviously, just replying to Jubber, maybe 44. I think I read that one. Yeah, spot on there, lads. Mark, FSG don't have the money to run us as they sell us, so they can move on. We are bigger than FSG today. Cheers to that, Doug. But yeah, it's FSG. I don't think we'll ever sell Liverpool, because they grew the brand so much. From how much did they buy them for, Liverpool, lads? Was it like 400-500 mil, or was it a bit more?
300.
About 320 mil. Yeah.
Yeah, and you turned the business into just under 3 billion, innit? Now,
Yeah, nearly.
It's crazy, or probably even more than that. So from a
Quick how they've done that, really, when you think about it, especially with all the debts that they had to pay off as well.
I think it's what 10. I think they've been in power for what, just over 10 years.
over
I think
10
it
years.
is.
Yeah, 10
Yeah, and I think it's mind blowing. I mean, they've made a profit. I think it's around just over a £2.2 billion profit since they've bought the
They
club.
sell when the stadium's done.
I mean,
When the stands
Redbird
are-
investment, isn't it?
Well, saying that though, like you said, they paid the debts off, they built a new stand, they've got 2 brand new sponsorship deals as well, and and you're in the billions already.
They've got money to spend. It's just they're very shrewd and they're business people. They're not football fans, are they? So they're not going to go splash 100 mil on a player. But they should.
No. To be fair, I was reading about FSG as well, and what was it? Who did they buy in the MLB, the Major League Baseball? Was it Boston?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Ice hockey team,
And-
Pittsburgh something.
Yeah, I think it might be. But with the baseball one, I remember they had a star player. Yeah, and they sold the best player, and all the fans turned on them. And they said, "No, honestly, this is the best thing. This is the best thing for you. Watch."
Yeah.
Well, she'll do that with Salah.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed you don't do that. But Mark, spot on there. As Minamino wasn't a few years ago, for us, so Diaz would be in our Champions League squad. He won't not be cup tied, mate. Obviously,
That's a shame for Ricky Minamino might not be in the squad.
For those wanting FSG to sell, I think it might happen after the stadium. Obviously, as Ricky's just alluded to, their stadium expansion is completed, and as a better proposition for potential buyers interested in turning it into a car park. No, Tom, that's the beach, mate. I'm sure, obviously. Come on, guys, smash that like button. Spot on there, Willow. Appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like button, Reds. Obviously, we have smashed our tiger, but if we can get to 100 likes before we do finish off tonight, you're absolute legends. Really do appreciate all you dropping a like on the video. So no worries. Obviously, he's speaking. If he played against us when he was in Champions League, then he was with RB Salzburg. So Diaz wouldn't make late. Spot on there, mate. Goodison would make some. Yeah, he would do this as well. Yeah, Douglas, who do you suggest runs Liverpool once you get FSG out? Just asking. Imagine we beat them in the first derby at the interval. We were speaking about that there and before, weren't we? That would be absolutely tremendous. His nickname is Lucho Diaz. Alejo, spot on there. I think he has got a nickname. I think he is called Noodle. I think I've seen on that Athletic article, which is tremendous. It's one way of calling Diaz Noodle. It's intriguing. It'd be interesting to see what that does mean in terms of why he's called that. What happens when the stadium What happens with the stadium when the Arctic melts and the sea level rises? Well, it gets swallowed up, don't it, mate? Unlucky they have. Anfield is built on
he's getting battered here, aren't I? Left, right, and centre.
It is built on a ledge anyway. Anfield, obviously a good hill. I can see it from when I look out my window. Goodison is the doorman. Oh, bloody hell, lads, calm down.
Jeez, what?
Common sound, you know. It's whatever. We can handle it.
I'm only bitter when it comes to a derby, you know. I'm quite neutral.
Oh, yeah. Go back on the channel and watch his post-match or pre-match. He was buzzing after when you won 1-0. Nico to Brentford would be a great move for him. Definitely, Mark. Maybe. Yeah. I think Neko would be a better winger. Yeah, spot on there, North. We've seen that with Gareth Bale, didn't we? I don't think he'll be anywhere near even a quarter as good as that. But it was intriguing that Bale did convert from a left-back all the way up to a possible striker some games. Obviously a winger, but it's intriguing that some players can do that. Lamptey would be good for us. Ryan, don't we start on him, mate? Oh, tremendous little player. Especially if all that talk of Trent in the next 5, 4, 6 years does move up a bit further up the pitch. Lamptey is your man. I'm surprised like a Bayern hasn't gone and got Lamptey. If you're asking me, obviously Bayern are screaming out for a decent fullback, obviously down the right-hand side, and Tariq Lamptey's your man, really. I know they did tinker with a little bit a couple of years ago for Max Aarons, but Lamptey's on another bloody planet. And the fact that Chelsea let him go, for me personally, I think, I'm going to trigger all Chelsea fans, Lamptey's a better fullback than a better right-back than a certain Reece James. Yeah, I've said it. Sorry.
Wow.
I would laugh.
Wow.
Come here, triggered Chelsea fans. I would laugh. Everton going down from your talks. Enjoy the Champions League. At least have a good seat for when we do another parade. It'll be right out. We'll stop right outside the new Goodison. With the midfield issues, I believe, Sweet Roy, here's your comment, matey. The issues, I believe Klopp will definitely try Firmino in midfield. Well, Luke, spot on with what Roy said there. Your thoughts on that suggestion?
I think Firmino gets brought back a bit further back. I do think that. I think over the last couple of seasons we've been struggling for that sort of out-and-out centre forward sort of type player that's going to put the ball in the net. Apart from, we rely Salah and Mane heavily to get most of our goals. But I think Firmino is that type of player where, he does like to get the ball in tight spaces. He does like to sort of create little sort of gaps in sort of around the number 10 position or even in that centre forward position. He does like to sort of be versatile, obviously coming out on the left and the right as well, tries to sort of create moments. But it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Firmino drop a bit deeper and we allow Jota to play. I don't think Jota's going to play a lot more on the left now with Diaz coming in. I said this to Rick yesterday. I think that, Mane and Diaz will be the two that will play furthest out wide compared to Jota now. I think Jota could be that person through the middle maybe for next season. So it wouldn't surprise me if Firmino gets drop a bit further back into like the rest of the season and, maybe next season if he's still at the club.
Yeah, spot on there.
When you signed Firmino, wasn't he a number 10? When he signed, wasn't he an attacker midfielder anyway?
No, I believe he was a centre forward. I believe when we signed him,
He was. I think
Brendan Rodgers tried to play him right wing back.
Yeah. I remember that.
Ahead of Nico Williams.
That literally sounds like Brendan Rodgers this season with Harvey Barnes trying to play him as a fucking right winger.
He showed great character though, so you know. It's all right.
Hey, we don't even have a character to hang on to anymore. We're shy. At least before we can,
And you know what?
I'm not
You know
even getting
who's
missing
missing there,
on
don't
Brendan Rodgers.
And Joe Allen's missing in Leicester. Joe, get him to Leicester.
Oh, don't. Stoke's only down the road. It's like
Yeah.
a 10 to 15-minute journey.
Imagine, that's a question, Andy. Do you reckon Rodgers was the last the season?
Oh, I hope not.
Wow.
My thing is, like you guys at Liverpool have seen this. He's a 3-year manager. The first 2 years, it's been brilliant. This third year, it's been every excuse in the book, apart from taking responsibility on himself of why like the results haven't been great. And it's like the thing is, if we were learning from the mistakes that we were making, I'd say fine, fair enough. He's trying to improve them, but it's the same mistakes week in, week out. Like conceding from corners, we've conceded the most in the league, yet we've stuck with the zonal marking for so long, and it's like it's just not working. It's like when you got Lookman trying to mark, who was it? Like Ruben Diaz, I think it was. It's like what are Lookman's a very good player. He is not someone you want marking like a 6'4" centre back. It's as well. We go 1-0 up in games or 2. Like we get a lead, and then we just go 5 at the back, park the bus. And like it was against Tottenham, we were completely on top in that game. Should have made it 3-4-1 and completely killed the game off. Allowed Tottenham to come back into that game by just parking the bus and it didn't just park the bus. He took Vardy off, he took Daka off, and we were playing without a striker and without an outlet, just getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and it was inevitable that they were going to score. Did the same thing against Brighton, did the same thing against you lot at Anfield. I think he's a brilliant manager, but I think he's run his race at Leicester. And it also feels like with him being linked to every other job going, his head's been turned.
Yeah.
I do think that we could end up with someone like Graham Potter, who I think is a very similar manager to Brendan Rodgers in terms of that level. But I think he'll be better for what Leicester need right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I
love Graham Potter.
So not a 2-year manager then, though.
For me, he's a serial bottle of Rodgers. Like his ego's through the roof. The man, don't trust Rodgers, mate. The man cheated on his wife, so with the club secretary at Liverpool. So it doesn't.
It's actually true. I thought that was a rumor.
It doesn't take much to turn his back, mate.
I seen him like 5 years ago knocking some bed at a club.
Has Frank Lampard been confirmed yet as Everton manager?
And it's apparently the deal's done. I think tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or Monday. He wants to come out, basically say that he's manager.
I'm just thinking, if he's not signed the deal yet, then if Leicester get rid of Rodgers and then
could you imagine a swap deal? Agent Rodgers next.
With the boys.
Do you think Lampard's a good appointment for you lot? Because obviously, like, I love what he did to Derby because it'll be like what Rafa did to Everton for you guys. Because obviously, for me, Derby's like the big derby, them and Forest. But he's like, people won't admit it, but he's started that downfall for them with the spending, like spending a lot, and not purely him. Mel Morris as well had a huge amount to do with it. Yeah. But I feel like people don't admit and say he did well at the Championship. He had the best team in the Championship by a long way, and the fact that he only got to the playoff, that just seems like a failure to me. And they invested so much in faith that he would get that Lampard would get them up, which was a bit of a naive decision from the Derby board, in all honesty, to put that much hope in a new manager. But they invested that much in him, and he ultimately failed with Derby. Like it seems like a really strange appointment, and but it's the better of the two options you had, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Just quickly, sorry there, Tom. Just quickly go through these comments. Just keep make sure I haven't missed anyone. Just amazed, obviously, I'm mentioning Ivan tried to do a double swoop for Origi and Phillips. I think every Liverpool fan is very surprised. Yeah, probably signing for 80 million at this rate, mate, if you want him. Sorry, guys. I've got to get off. All in chat. See you all soon and have a great night. Willow, thank you very much, mate, for tuning in. Hope you have a lovely night, mate. And obviously, whatever you get up to tomorrow, we will be live. So just keep an eye on your phone, mate, for notifications. And look after yourself, fella. Appreciate you tuning in once again. Absolute legends. Honestly, hope everyone go down actually to the championship. Be great. That spot on, Mark. I'd agree with that.
Jeez.
But yeah, 2 likes away from 50. Absolutely spot on, sir. See you, Willow. Obviously, Nigel. Obviously, sweet. But yeah, absolutely spot on. I will miss. I would miss the Merseyside derby if Neverton went down. Oh, I wouldn't, mate. We get a bit of peace. But that's just Justin. It was class before his injury. Yeah, spot on.
To be fair, at least Everton will get closer to another derby against Tranmere. I mean, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
All right, yeah, cheers. Yeah, there we go.
Tranmere being promoted to League One, possibly.
Yeah.
And then,
Tranmere, a bigger club, didn't you have?
It'd be Wigan. Wigan would be our closest derby. Bloody pie eaters.
Lamptey. Ryan, there we go. Spot on. Maybe 80 watching, smash that like button, folks. Spot on there. Tom, absolute legends, every single one of you. Agent Rafa did well for the Ev. Yeah, he very much did, John. Go ahead. Cheeky 8 million in the bank, John. Spot on. Nico is a decent player. He will be better. How's Everton doing? How are you doing? The official Y1B. How are you doing, matey? Appreciate you tuning in. Yusuf, how are you doing, lad? Have a cheeky couple of games with COD later. Or not now, it's probably past everyone's bedtime. But tomorrow, mate.
Yeah,
maybe instead of selling...
tagged along, and there's me and Jack just trying to take out everyone else.
Yeah, maybe instead of selling Mane or replacing him, we could play 4 at the back, 2 in midfield, and then I think MK Han. I think you love the 4-2-4, mate. I think if you go in the ground, mate, just hold up a sign saying 4-2-4, mate. But it's an exciting formation, that, mate.
I mean, I'm at the Cardiff game next week, so should I do it for him?
Yeah, do for that, lad. Salah will get paid. You very much will. How you doing, Dirk? Appreciate you tuning in once again, mate. Every single one of you that returning, you're absolute legends. Rooney is a good lad for sticking with it at Derby. Yeah, tremendous, mate. He's going to be a great coach in the next coming years. He's already doing a cracking job at the minute. Pains me to say it, but he is. How you doing, Dave? Dave, I've sent you the link. I know you're very busy, mate, but I hope you're having a good day anyway, Dave. Get a good night as well. If you've got a cracking, I did watch your live stream as well, so make sure you head over to Dave LFC chats as well. But yeah, I'll have to get you on soon, Dave. It's been everyone's been quite busy. Why would we sell Mane and Firmino when City and Chelsea have at least 5 top attackers? Klopp can rotate with the 5 attackers. Basil, yeah, we very much discussed that, mate, at the top of the show. It's all about squad depth. Squad depth should be printed on every single bloody wall within Liverpool Football Club, in our training ground and all around Anfield. Squad depth is key for then, not just Liverpool, but for the top sides in Europe, for competing for every competition, really. RIP to obviously, yeah, we did mention that. Thought to go out to the Fulham fan for obviously the cardiac arrest. Everyone in the Liverpool fan base and the footballing family thought to go to that individual and his family. Sad news. Hey Dave, and obviously chats up there. 75 likes. 75 in, hit that like button. Cheers for that, mate. Absolute legend. We signed Eddie in 2014. It's mad that he's somehow still at Liverpool when you see the players that have left. Wow. He's a legend, mate, isn't he? But I think if we played Barca every night, every weekend, it'd be playing every week. But sadly, we don't. All that. It's all brilliant seeing local lads come through all the clubs. Yeah, you spot on there, and what Ant did mention as well in the live stream as well. Nothing better, mate. Is this Rodgers' last season? I think, Ant, you did touch on that, didn't you, mate? But I think so. I don't think
I can do with another season of this. But the thing is, I preferred it when we were shit and we were losing every week. It's like when you know that you've got some half decent players and you're playing crap, it's more frustrating.
Yeah, it's mad, mate. But yeah, you did touch on that as well, Potter. I think I'm surprised. I think if Arsenal had any ambition, they'd go for Potter, because he is one of the most underrated managers in world football. I think him with a bigger budget the football he plays. I think it was this season when he went to the bridge. Both games against Chelsea, I did watch both of them, and he absolutely battered them all over the gaff. And even when he played us lads as well at Anfield, Tom, and you've probably watched them when you've played them. I mean,
battered us as good as them, mate. Let's put it that way.
Who don't?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jokes aside, they do go to sides, and I know they and the home fans are like, well, it's only Brighton will beat them, but in reality, him and the fella at Wolves, two of the most biggest underrated managers in the Premier League at the minute.
Wolves have shocked me this year, I have to say that. Mind you, so's Brighton, but to be fair, if you look at them two teams are like the dark horses in the league.
Yeah, is it Bruno
Lage?
Is it Bruno Lage? Yeah. He just loves a clean sheet. If you watch him in the post matches, he's like, if his team loses by like a goal or something, and watch him in the post match after the City game, he was fuming, and rightly so, because it was that obviously the handball shout. Got given, but I tell you, he will get a big job in Europe very soon if he does continue. It's either going to be Villa, Brighton, or not Palace, or obviously Leicester or someone. Someone will eventually break into that top four, but it could possibly be Villa, Brighton, or obviously Wolves. I think one of them in the next couple of years, if they do continue playing like they have and keeping staying with the managers. I think one of them might at least get Europe.
The thing is, it's the decline as well of teams like Tottenham and Arsenal have proper opened that door up for clubs like ourselves. Obviously, Villa, who are spending big as well now. Wolves. The thing is that all of those teams have got money, which is why I think teams like Arsenal, they really do need to be sort of like getting themselves sorted. Otherwise, they will very quickly be caught. And even like I know, like Everton are a million miles off it this year, but they have the money to spend. They just need to get the right like infrastructure and that in place, and then they could really be competing as well. So, I'm hoping over the next few years we'll see a lot of teams as well. West Ham's another one, but like really can be with like up the top.
Yeah, spot on there, aren't they? I think they're one or two extra attackers away from challenging. It's mad, isn't it? But it's another show. We could do so many shows, and obviously in the Premier League, it's so strong. It's so good to see. It's going to be more difficult for Liverpool and all of our teams to win any trophies. I know a certain club on this panel won't be anywhere near that, but yeah. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom. Saying that, yeah, but the FA Cup, aren't they?
Jeez, mate. Get a proper tenant on here today, mate, aren't I? Jeez.
Tom, when Lampard takes over, do you want Barkley? No, me and Tom were speaking off camera. He did get bullied out of Liverpool. If you don't know the story, well, I think he did have like a fight in town, and that's why he went to Chelsea and all that. It was all over the press in Liverpool.
He went to Chelsea because he wanted the money. The situation, what happened to him was just his stupidity, really, mate. That's what it was.
Yeah. And there's a lot of reasons why a lot of Chelsea new signings sign the big contracts and then go out on loan. The likes of Barkley, Bakayoko, Drinkwater. They sign all the big contracts, and then they think, we'll just let our contract run down and they'll go on a free somewhere else. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes back to Everton, but not unless when his contract runs out.
I don't think Lampard... Go on, Jack. Carry on. I was just going to say, I don't think Lampard would take him, to be fair. I think Lampard's got more of a... He didn't really play him that much at Chelsea. He put Barkley on loan anyway, didn't he, at Villa?
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think he likes him. I don't think he likes his attitude as well. So hopefully Lampard can get Dele Alli or Van der Beek or someone like that.
Yeah. No, what was I going to say? No, it's completely gone out of my head now.
Sorry,
that was it. That's right. It was Kante made Drinkwater's career, didn't he? And like me, all of us on the panel could play a game alongside Kante, and he'd do our job for us, and we'd win the league.
The thing is, it's like you say, it's like we played that 4-4-2 of that two midfield, and he had like Kante one side of him, like absolutely running everywhere. Mark Albrighton, who again is not the best player in the world, but he will put a shift in, and all like making Drinkwater's job very easy to play the balls over the top for Vardy. That was like that season has somehow managed to earn him like $100,000 a week contract at Chelsea. Like He's one of those. He weren't a bad player, but he's a solid bottom 5 Premier League player. The fact he's managed to get does he have like 2 Premier Leagues, an FA Cup, a League Cup? It's like that man is like his CV does not match his ability.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't justify it, does it?
How he won this?
But saying that, I absolutely love the man. I've got a signed Drinkwater top up on the wall there, but he's one of those. He should be like a Leicester hero, but he should not be like he should never have got that move to Chelsea. But I'm so glad he did.
It's crazy, isn't it? Typical of Chelsea. Their loan system needs to be investigated. Money laundering scheme, innit? Blatant money laundering scheme at Chelsea going on. But we'll quickly get to everyone's comments as well. I think Diaz would be the fastest, but that's a video for the Liverpool content team on YouTube to do. Who's the fastest? I think would be Diaz. I know Salah's quite quick and Mane, but I'd say Diaz. So judging from what I've seen, obviously in real life, it's better judge a character really, but I'd say Diaz. Taki Origi, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain can go, and if we sign one top DM and a top attacking midfielder, the team will be complete. Interesting there, mate. Basil, agree with that, La? No contract Monday morning, trust me. No Fred, not too sure. Obviously, Pep Linders, I think Isaiah Oswald went with who would he want to replace Jurgen Klopp if he did leave after the end of his current contract. Gareth Southgate, Christ. What's that for?
Well, it's coming home, getting tattooed on his thing every week.
Yeah, United had the Norwegian Origi as Arsenal, not even a legend. Gerrard, actually a living legend, absolutely spot on there. And Gerrard with Pep, Linders in the same role as for me. Interesting there, Ryan. If Gerrard can get Villa into Europe and then get them to latter stages of the Europa and finish 7th, so he'd definitely be the man. Obviously, it's all right, Ryan. I knew what you said, La. It wouldn't be surprised if Gerrard as well has a clause in his contract if we come in. Interesting. We ain't hired Gerrard purely for sentimental reasons, though. He needs to prove himself. Spot on there, and I think he very much said that himself. If you haven't seen his interview, Reds or any rival fans, when he was at Rangers and he plays like us, he was like, I do not want Liverpool fans don't want me to be their manager. He loved Jurgen Klopp. But you have to be spot on. 8 people watching, hit that like button, folks. Absolutely spot on there, Tom. Absolute legends. If you don't mind, try and get to 75 likes before we do shoot off tonight. Absolute legends. Appreciate it. FSG maximised the commercial income like Manchester United. Not surprised there, the Anfield, like all of us are paying, what, 80, 100 odd quid for the bloody shirt. Oh, Christ. Should be getting Haaland the bath every window at that rate. Even if there's no pitches, Luis Diaz is unlikely to arrive until the end of the week as visa issues need to be resolved. Obviously, yeah, that will be a case, but I think it will get boxed off before we do play in the FA Cup. Didn't Chelsea get bought for £1?
Yeah, Ken Bates.
Yeah, it was
many years ago.
Little bit of cheeky business there going on.
Shame that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's as I'm surprised the ever aren't worth £1 at this rate.
Wow.
They make their profit. Yeah, definitely, Hannah. Liverpool prepared a contract which will run until the summer of 2027 for Diaz, who is set to earn about £90,000 per week, according to Paul Joyce. If that is broke, cheers for that, Jamie. But I don't think that did put. Let's quickly have a little look over the Paul Joyce. I'll check in a sec, but the worst thing, I was going to say, he wouldn't put that out publicised, really. The worst thing is that FSG sell-up is pretty much just oil money that would buy us. And I definitely haven't got a cheeky 3 billion sat under my bed, sadly. But yeah, that's what you need, isn't it? The worst thing is that FSG. I've read that one. Sorry, that. What were you going to say there, Ricky? Sorry, that.
I'll take the oil money and run. and wait
Oh,
for
yeah.
Memphis G.
Yeah, he's called Noodle because he was skinny. Oh, sounds. I think that's what Tom used to call me anyway. That's a nice word. I think Decore will benefit massively from Lampard. Look at Ramsey, a filler, massively, mate. Yeah, especially if you're looking at idolise that. Decore probably did because Lampard is one of the best midfielders. Gerrard over Lampard all day. Well, yeah, of course. He's the best midfielder. Oh yeah, he will look. Decore will.
I mean,
look
that'd be tasty, wouldn't it? In 24, if Gerrard took the Liverpool job and Lampard's still at Everton. I mean, that would be.
Give him to the touchline.
Christ Almighty, we said for the last 10 years, haven't we? That debate's been going on. Is he signed already? Alejo, obviously, his medical. He's passed his medical, as we all know. But I think it will be getting announced officially tomorrow morning. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Going down. Go ahead, and who? Everton or Leicester?
Burnley, Newcastle, Watford, I think he said.
Oh, yeah. Did they sign? Did they? Yeah, very much so, mate. Adrian Watson, that's pretty spot on there. Play Luis Diaz, Salah, and Bobby just in behind. Diego Jose Taxera da Silva. I think he used to play for us, didn't you, mate? When they announced Luis Diaz, Jack. Hopefully tomorrow morning, mate. Obviously, we did discuss at the top of the show tonight, mate. He has passed his medical. I'm just waiting, sitting on our hands now, mate, for the official announcement. All of us will have videos pumping out tomorrow, fingers crossed. And we'll see him in a nice Liverpool kit anyway, which would be tremendous. Bet Rodgers was trying to sign Coutinho, probably, but Brendan Rodgers has got no pull in signing any players, really.
He was told to do one by the board, apparently, when he was requested it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we've got such a strict wage structure. Coutinho would be like earning almost double what anyone else at Leicester's earning. It's like, and then we've got players like Vardy in his contract. His contract is he's got to be joint top earner. So if Coutinho comes in on what 250 grand a week, then Vardy's going to be on 250 grand a week.
Tillemans as well, isn't it?
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then I think as well, if it's like what you said with Salah. If Salah goes on 500 grand a week, then you're going to have Van Dijk wanting that. You're going to have Alisson wanting that. You're going to have Trent.
Yeah, the domino effect, I call it.
Like bringing in a player like Coutinho, who, like, let's be honest, he's not the same player he was that he left when he left you guys to go to Barca. He's still a decent player, but he's not a player that you ruin your wage structure over.
I don't know, I've seen a bit of magic when he played against United.
Yeah. Bobby's never been a number 10. He's an attacking midfielder. Jay, spot on there, Yeah, I think he was a 10 or a centre forward, really. I think Decore will benefit massively from the shoutouts with Lampard. Look at spot on there. And Monday, Diaz. Breaking Spurs signed Bentancur and Kulusevski. It's a big signing.
Both on loan, them two, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Typical. They've got no money after buying this new stadium.
Saying about Spurs, sorry, mate, that non-league striker's rejected him.
Who is rejected Spurs?
That non-league striker, they'd agreed a transfer fee with the club and he rejected them on personal terms.
Was that the kid from MK Dons?
No, like a proper non-league striker. Like 19-year-old kids rejected moving to Spurs to stay in the
whoever he's at, he's at a bigger club already, mate. So it's Spurs are a bloody mess.
See Conte leaving in about a week, watch.
Yeah.
Is that window shut?
Yeah, he will be. Good night, lads. Keith, thank you very much for joining, mate. We have a lovely night. Obviously, we'll have our show live tomorrow as well. You're absolute legends for everyone tuning in. Make sure you haven't missed. Apologies, a bit slow on the replies. I'm making sure to do read out every single one of your comments. I really do appreciate every single one of yours. Good night. Do we need Everton for Christmas? Or what have you seen, Luke?
Just see a comment at the bottom of the screen.
Now we need Everton for Christmas. Liverpool need to sign Rafinha. Ninja.
West Ham apparently were interested in Rafinha.
Who's that?
West Ham apparently interested in Rafinha.
Didn't we have a bid rejected for him?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it could be. I don't know where Bowen goes in the summer would be interesting, but
Liverpool.
yeah.
Fingers crossed. I'd love him, mate. Yeah, Luis Diaz. Competition brings the best out of Mane. That's a big point in it, Ninja. He very much will. Fingers crossed. That's what Jürgen and the board are hoping. Moon, how you doing, mate? Thank you for tuning in yet again. You were in yesterday. Bringing Gerard Bowen in the summer as well as Bobby Firmino I would be very happy with that. I think it's spot on there. Please like and subscribe all to the channel, guys. Obviously, the 1893 Reds podcast. Did you put the link in, mate? Drop it in again, obviously, for the lads' channel. And Nancy, you're very welcome to drop your link into your channel as well, mate, in the comments. Obviously, Anson, the 1893 Reds podcast. Potter is a clever manager, would be deadly choice of manager if he was given a wee bit of time. Very much so, Tom. He's a tremendous manager. Mane expected to play the Senegal. What's happening with the caution rule? It depends, obviously, and in terms of the medical staff probably know a bit more, but we'll find out. It could come out, as you said there, mate, that he shouldn't have been playing. But fingers crossed he's okay to play. Pretty sure he will be if it is the case. They bought an office through the library board and spent $500 million for a relegation. But nice to see a good signing without sale of a player we'd rather keep. The Barefoot and Akreem TV. Cheers. Thank you very much for commenting, mate. And obviously, if you are new around here, any of you hit that subscribe button down below and put your bell notification on as well. And there's any rival fans or people that would like to get on the show, you're very welcome to follow the channel and drop us a DM or something on social media. I'd love to get you on. I've got the lads on tonight. Liverpool need Rafinha and Kovacic. Oh, not Kovacic, mate.
Kovacic,
he's a tremendous player, but he's at Chelsea. Very good. Just because he scored that bloody... I'm still fuming over that bloody world he scored at the bridge a couple of weeks ago. For us, Traore, European Cup winner. Well, Anti is a legendary. What a player Jimmy Traore was. Bellingham summer 2023, or sign him in the summer, but stays at Dortmund for the final season. I think he will stay at the current club in which he's at, mate, due to the fact of, obviously, it depends on what Haaland does. I don't foresee a summer where Dortmund do sell Haaland and Bellingham in one summer. Obviously, you've let Dembele go a couple of years ago. And obviously, they let Sancho go now. It'd either be one case of sell Haaland one summer or one window and then sell, obviously, Jude Bellingham the season after. But you never know. Funnier things have happened in football. Haaland has got a release clause in the contract that does run out, I think, after this season. So a lot of clubs will be sniffing around that deal. But I'm intrigued. Can the club announce Diaz with the Narcos theme song in the background? Don't think they'd be allowed to do that, mate. Might get struck by copyright. Liverpool quick enough, and especially Premier League, Christ. You put highlights on your channel, you go, hey, we'll take down your video straight away. So, yeah. We still need another 2 to 3 players in the summer. Mr. Bud, very much agree with that, mate, as we discussed tonight, and obviously in the coming weeks and times on the channel. But appreciate you tuning in, mate. Absolute legends. Jaja, yeah. Yes, not too sure what that means, but apologies if that's some swear word. Not too sure what that says, but obviously. By the way, Tom, Lampard conceded 56 goals in a season, mate. I wouldn't be too excited, though. More open line of roads. Bloody hell,
Wouldn't make a difference because our defence is terrible anyway, so add up to the numbers.
Instead of 56 goals, it'll be 55 goals. That Mark's
exactly.
Remember the power shift when they brought an office in the live building? And don't get me started on that. I've already wound Tom up and all my head mates. I'm pretty sure you have as well. The medical done. The LFC 4 very much done, mate. It's just waiting official confirmation and the official announcement for Liverpool, mate. I reckon it'll be either early hours in the morning, or possibly very early hours, probably around about 9 or 10 UK time. But it will be getting announced. A non-league striker. Oh, well, yeah. What were they offering? Vouchers? Probably with Spurs, mate. Buy one, get one free. They couldn't even get a down with Traore.
Tesco redeem card.
Yeah, so to everyone in the panel, lads, absolute legends. I don't understand how Tottenham are such a big club and aren't even from London. Don't get them started.
From Middlesex.
Good night, great show, lads. Tom, keep your chin up, bro. North Fred, yeah, absolutely spot on there, North. Have a great night, mate, North. And obviously, it is good banter anyway. Tom's wound me up. Oh yeah, but this obviously it's respectful. That's why we all love each other, and it's good banter. But it's obviously respectful banter. And Tom, I know Tom can take it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. It's all right. When I go over to Greece, he'll batter me anyway. So it sounds. Good night. But yeah, how you doing, Helen? Hello. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, but thank you for tuning in, Helen. Appreciate it. If we get signed Bowen in the summer, I'd want a full bullseye announcement. Those who remember, I chat. If Minamino goes to Leeds, domino effect, Rafinha to West Ham. That would be a big deal if Rafinha did somehow go to West Ham, but I doubt he'll go there. Diaz to replace Salah? No, mate. Kevin, it won't be the case.
Going off that last comment, actually, do you think Diaz has come in just in case Salah doesn't sign that contract?
You never know. It might be a case, do you reckon, Luke and Ricky, with the case of Mane, similar. I think we mentioned it before, but you'd always got to have that backup plan, haven't you? Possibly. Because I remember when Salah, was it Mane or Salah that was signed as a backup, and we didn't really foresee him having that impact in which he's had on the current squad?
I think Liverpool now looking at it and thinking we need to sign a player before we sell someone, because we've been known in the past to sell players and replace them with absolute shit. I mean, Jovanovic,
Paulson.
We've signed some proper, Paulson. We've signed some proper
Konchesky
players. Yeah,
I respect Konchesky.
Konchesky, what a player! And he thought he won the lottery when he got signed by Liverpool. I'm telling you. But I mean, it's good that we're buying players now, but no one's going in the summer. I think Mane gets a new deal. I think the only one that leaves is Bobby, because you can replace Bobby's position. It's hard to find top wingers out there at the minute.
Yeah, I have put the lads spot on there, Ricky. Put the lads channel links in the description, so go head over to Anne's channel, and obviously Ricky and Luke's the 1892 Reds podcast. Obviously, click on the link and you can subscribe there. Absolute legends. But quickly, get to make sure I haven't missed anyone's. Mane has lost the explosiveness, and the match against Chelsea showed that Liverpool has no midfield. Hendo and Milner are old. Foden ate Milner. He very much did, mate. And I think we've spoke, and I think it will be another show for another night this week. That it will be a case of replacing Milner. I haven't seen.
I'd replace Hendo as well.
Yeah,
I was about to say, well, what would you do over there with Hendo? Because he's exactly getting on a bit.
Sit him on the bench just for morale and a bit of leadership.
Yeah, well, he got his new contract.
Yeah.
Moving forward, didn't he? Yeah.
No, I agree with you there.
He's known for running around for 90 minutes, but you can see his legs are going.
Yeah, it's unfair on Milner, isn't it? We all watched that game, obviously against City, but on the certain games this season, it's like, because obviously a player of that age, and we all know he's probably the fittest player in Liverpool squad, but in terms of moving around the pitch, you've seen the likes of Giggs get converted, Scholes, Gerrard in his latter stage of his career went a bit more deeper in terms of the midfield. Top players, when they got older, need to sometimes just change the position because you lose certain aspects of what made them so good. But Milner, his brain's still there, but he hasn't got that, even though he wasn't blessed originally with a lot of pace himself, but he had a bit more pace than he's currently had this season, mate. But it is sad. Cavalier from Fulham to LFC this summer, maybe. Kevin, fingers crossed, mate, if good. But I think Porter were linked yesterday with him, possibly, if Liverpool possibly could have let him go. Just let him go to Porto. We never know. But I think that could be the last deal that possibly could get announced in the next 24 hours, or it could be a case of Liverpool buying him on a free and then just dealing with a tribunal cost, really, like you know what it usually is anyway. It's desperate signing lamps. Yeah, it is. We always spoke about that, Alan.
Rafa wasn't.
Oh yeah, I haven't even mentioned that legend. Well, he got 8 million, didn't he? So as we said before, for 83 watching and 73 likes. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Jack and crew. Brilliant show tonight. Love the Evan Leicester banter. We all are one big family up the effing Reds, but absolutely spot on there, Tom. And obviously, made up. The lads have come on the show tonight as well, and hopefully we'll get them on for a lot more shows this coming season. This coming week as well, because everyone's smashing it. Breaking news: Lampard has been, it's kidnapped Mason Mount anyway.
Jeez, already, here we go.
YouTube's on one tonight, honestly.
Oh, we haven't. Tottenham were offering the Metro's wages. Just come back online, Jack. Oh, no worries, Ellen. Thank you for coming online. Absolute legends. Make sure you haven't missed anyone. Liverpool need to make a package deal with Dortmund for Haaland and João Reyna. Up the Reds. Augustine, get in, mate. Up the Reds. And obviously, if you are new around here, make sure you head over, subscribe down below, and put your bell notifications on as well. Obviously, subscribe to the 1892 Reds podcast. The lads' links are in the chat. Obviously, I will post them in a little seconds before we do head off. But I'm making sure you haven't missed anyone's comments. If you have, I really do apologise. But he's absolutely smashed the comments tonight. Every single one he is, and I really do appreciate it. Words can't describe how much I really do appreciate it. Absolute legends. Everyone tuning in, and obviously the lads on the show tonight. 2 hours. I'm going to have to pay them for this time in bevies when I do see them. Or any PayPal transactions, I can do that as well, boys.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've got PayPal. You can transact it from there. I'm not going to see you for a while, mate.
Yeah,
that's all right. We'll go towards your budget. We'll go towards the pan budget to buy Everton. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I need it more. I live in Greece. The company's crap over here.
Yeah, but up the Reds, get in, Augustine. Salah is the Coutinho. Their eyes must be watering potential money.
Yusuf, mate. Sorry, Yusuf.
We signed Diaz because Salah wants to see FSG's ambition. No signs next. Good luck for the rest. Just joking, the Blues. Good luck for the rest of the season. Milner is a national treasure. So is Michael Edwards as well. Love you guys. A Leeds fan, Paul. Thank you very much for that, mate. Obviously, Paul, you're very welcome to jump on, mate. I know we have got a good mate, Tom, on. But we just love fussy talking about it. Obviously, loads of banter. We can take it as Scousers as well. So, but yeah, cheers for that, Paul. Really do appreciate taking the time out tonight to watch the show. And just every single one of you, if you are watching this on the repeat, we'll hopefully get Paul or a lot more opposition fan previews on as well. So they're made up. New sub, Mad Fed. Appreciate it, fella. European, your next season for forever.
Jesus Christ, man!
I'm going to be trying tonight, right?
Lad, I'm going to throw my head off the balcony in a minute.
But make sure you haven't missed anyone's comments. I'll just quickly get the lads' channels in that before we do shoot off. But thank you very much, lads, for coming on. Obviously, Tom, really do appreciate coming on, mate. And obviously, Luke and Vicky. Luke, just shout out your channel and just what you've got coming up the coming days. Obviously, it'll be a big end of the week, won't it, mate?
It will be, mate. And once again, Jack, thanks for me and Rick come on. So yeah, we're the 1892 Reds podcast, guys. As Jack says, put in the comments, please hit that subscribe button over to our channel. We are doing a live tomorrow, at some point tomorrow, obviously, to hopefully talk about the confirmation of Diaz with the signing. And we're also going to do one on Monday up until sort of the deadline, just to go through, obviously, like if there's any other sort of news. And then we have got our Cardiff preview coming up during the week as well. So yeah, come and join us and come and subscribe over to the channel. But once again, Jack, thank you very much for letting us come on.
No worries, that. And I've dropped your link, both of the lads' channels, well, all three of them, their channels. Just shout out your channel, mate, and what any potential shows you've got coming up this week or this season.
Yeah, so Ants Leicester fan channel. So I've got quite a busy week coming up actually on my channel. So I've got Rob Tanner, who's like the athletic correspondent for Leicester, interviewing him tomorrow, which should be good fun. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be quite quiet, if I'm honest, and it's probably going to be more depressing of like Tielemans is leaving, Maddison's leaving, than anyone coming in. But hopefully it should still be a good chat. Got a stadium tour video hopefully coming out on Wednesday of the King Power Stadium, which should be good. And then we've got our first derby in since 2013 against Forest over the weekend. So I've got the match day vlog for that of away day at Forest. Always fun. It's been far too long.
Yeah, no, cheers for coming on, mate, and obviously Rick and Luke. And I think and enjoy yourself, mate. Obviously, don't get too drunk saying that. Enjoy yourself, there. Look after yourself as well. Hopefully, he's win, obviously. But I'll tell you what, if Rodgers did lose that, I probably will get the sack anyway. But Tom, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Obviously, it's great to get a different opposition fan previews as well. Obviously, we didn't quite talk over the transfers, but I think we can leave that for tomorrow night. Tomorrow, potentially, if Liverpool do sign another player, it is hoping.
Never know, lads. Transfer, you know what the transfer deadline is like coming up.
Yeah, we'll probably discuss a bit more global transfers tomorrow in the Premier League as well. But cheers, Tom, for coming on. Appreciate it, lad.
Nah, thank you, mate.
And most importantly, yous at home, every single one of yous, absolute legends. Obviously, there's a lot of rival fans and any Liverpool fans as well, and obviously the new Colombian fans or the Diaz fans. Appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. And if you are new around here, drop a like on the video. We just hope the YouTube algorithm, gods, whatever you want to call them, and drop a subscribe here as well. And make sure you do head over to that channels to subscribe. Just make sure I haven't missed out anyone's. Yeah, we've seen that answer. Everyone loved that one. Still, Liverpool need more players and need to refreshing the team with more younger players, but Luis Diaz is a great player, and Force, it's a good start and signing for the club. Gargoyle, yeah, spot on there, mate. Appreciate you tuning in and for your comments. Hope for more players, fingers crossed as well. But thank you, and that brings a conclusion to tonight's show. 2 hours, 11 minutes. Appreciate that, really do appreciate the lads' time tonight, and every single one is. Obviously, Tom's just subscribed to your channel there, mate, as well. Absolute legends. But Reds and rival fans as well, look after yourselves. Enjoy your end of your weekends. If you didn't work, hope you have a good shift. Look after yourselves. Keep safe. Keep your family safe and that. And we'll see you tomorrow for another live. You never walk alone, Reds. Ta-da. Cheers, lads, as well. Wave, everyone. Bye. I need an outro. I'm very sorry, everyone. Bye.